Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Hollywood After Dark. Today is the 21st of February, 2022. We are back with a new episode and a new thumbnail design, really rocking that Pornhub look, because this is late night movie talk, Hollywood After Dark tonight. John Carpenter wants to do more of the thing. So who doesn't want him to do more of the thing? Whatever that thing might be, I don't know, we're going to talk about it. And a whole bunch more. Let's get into it right fucking now. What's going on, everyone? How you guys doing? Welcome to the party. Welcome to the show. Actually, let me pull that off screen for right now. Welcome back, Hollywood After Dark. Today, of course, is the 21st of February. Tomorrow is 2/22/22, which is an insane day to have nonetheless. It's going to be, I think, a day full of people celebrating. You know, where were you on 2/22/22? And I'm just going to be like, I don't know, like at the DMV or at the car dealership is where I have to go tomorrow to get my car worked on because I'm an adult with adult things to do. So, you know, that's where I'm going to be. I don't know about you. I'll be celebrating from a Kia dealership. Yeah, sitting in their waiting room going like, okay, everybody, this is living the life. But that being said, it is, of course, another day. It is, of course, another round of movie news. Tonight, we're going to be talking about a fair amount of fun stuff. John Carpenter is always a fun topic. The Terminator is back in the news for a very interesting way. You've got the success of Uncharted kind of getting touted around by the heads of Sony. And a mysterious Lord of the Rings and the Rings of Power video disappeared from Amazon. We'll be taking a look at that and some of the comments to give you an idea as to why. But before then, why don't we just dive into the chat right now? Say hey to my peeps, to the HWAD squad. First up, we got a $10 super chat from Blue Jay, man. Thank you so much for supporting the show, supporting the channel, man. Thank you for being the first one of the night. It says here, I do have a question. What does the term streaming movie mean? Personally, I don't think Turning Red looks like a streaming movie since it was supposed to be a theatrical release. Is it because of COVID? Well, okay. So, I mean, streaming movie is kind of just a term now. It's just a movie that comes out or debuts on streaming. You know, that's kind of the whole point. Does it negate the quality of the film? I think what it does is it allows for people to look at it through like a bit of a softer lens. You know, it's like, take, for example, Red Notice. Red Notice had a $250 million budget or something along those lines, or $200 million budget after COVID. All right, they had reshoots, they had COVID, all this kind of stuff. And the movie didn't look the best. You know, for the amount of money that was spent making it, there was so much noticeable green screen that it was distracting in a number of places. This is one that I had wanted to go see in theaters because it was playing with the Cinemark deal that Netflix has, but I chose to just wait to watch it at home, and I'm glad that I did. Whereas Army of the Dead is a movie that was made for streaming for $90 million. It was in theaters for 2 weeks, and it looked like a better film than Red Notice. Because honestly, Zack Snyder is a better filmmaker than Rawson Thurston Marshall, or Marshall Thurber, I think is his name. Thurston Marshall, whatever. Not to knock that guy. I do like his work, but what I'm trying to say here is, like, you know, some movies just have that look. If they were in theaters, they were the big budget, you know, release in theater movie, and they looked that way, people might attack it for the way that it looks. Whereas on streaming, it tends to get a little bit of a softer look. In regards to Turning Red, my issue with Turning Red is that it looks like it's Pixar's attempt at copying Miyazaki, or at least copying Japanese style anime. And you guys all know how I feel about anime. You guys all know how I feel about that. That is not anything at this point that is up for debate. I'm not the biggest fan. I know a bunch of you are trying to weeb pill me, right? I know a bunch of you are trying to do that, and I get that. However, I look at Turning Red, and I've watched the trailer a number of times, and it looks really cute, and I'm looking forward to watching it with my kids. But it just also looks so unlike anything Pixar has ever done. It looks like I'm watching what's the word I want to use here? It looks like I'm watching something like a Blue Sky movie, right? Or something that doesn't feel like Pixar. And it's very much Asian influenced, which is fine. It feels like, again, like Pixar's first attempt at kind of making an anime. And I think they're doing this because manga is outselling comics. Anime movies are doing spectacular in the box office. Look at Demon Slayer for 2020, for crying out loud. Highest grossing film theatrically stateside, outside of Bad Boys for Life. And they came out at almost polar opposite ends of the year. And so when you think of it from that perspective, you can see what Pixar is going for. They want to get that tween audience, or the Gen Zers, right? Which I think is, I don't know what I'm a Zennial is what they call me, right? I'm a Gen X, Gen Y, millennial type. But the people who grew up in the 90s, because this movie takes place in the 1990s in Toronto, Canada. And very much the woman who wrote it and directed it, or at least is directing it, May is a bit of a self-insert, I would argue. And she grew up in Toronto in the 90s, so it's very much about her life growing up, obviously with this, red panda bent to it. And as a person who grew up in the 90s and does love, not everything 90s, but a lot of thing 90s, I look at that and I think to myself, yeah, like, it's a movie that is going to be fun to think of the callbacks. But again, it also feels like it's pandering to an audience that is not me. But then again, look, the style of Luca didn't feel like a Pixar movie either. The story and the filmmaking was amazing. And I'm hoping the same for May, or for Returning Red, because I do love Pixar movies. There hasn't been one yet that I haven't really disliked outside of Ratatouille. But I think that's kind of what's going on in regards to all of that, right? In regards to everything. So we're going to have to wait and see how it turns out. When it comes up, hold on here. I see Lord Slugster says, Jarbo always brings up Red Notice. I wonder why. I'm using it because it was Netflix's most expensive film ever. And it starred 3 of the biggest entertainers in the world. 2 movie stars with Gal Gadot and Ryan Reynolds, and then an entertainer with The Rock. A brand, if you will. And I'm using it as an example for a movie that has a budget that is worthy of the big screen, and it failed to look like a big screen movie. I mean, The Batman has $100 million budget, and that looks fucking phenomenal. Whereas Red Notice had twice that, and it looked like it was shot on a soundstage, because a lot of it was. So it's not that I'm attacking The Rock. I'm talking about the quality of the film, not so much the person involved with that, right? Blue Jay goes on to say here, true, Pixar's always had this high pedestal that people have, even though some of their films aren't perfect like Cars, but they are a great studio. Here's the thing. I actually like the Cars movies. Not number 2. I will fully admit. I didn't care. I always forget number 2 exists. I still like it more than Ratatouille. I'm gonna hold the line on that one. However, because I didn't care for Cars 2 that much, I actually did not watch Cars 3 until it hit Disney Plus. And when I finally did watch Cars 3, I was like, shit, I'm a dumbass, because this movie was phenomenal. It really did deal with a lot of good themes about getting older and being at the end of your career and finding out that you still have value. There's good lessons in both Cars and Cars 3. Cars 2, oh dear God, Cars 2, that's a movie. That's a movie. All right, let's see. C. Denver here says, don't touch my Tolkien, LOL, don't anime his legacy. Well, they're gonna, Denver. They're gonna animate the Riders of Rohirrim, or whatever the hell it's called, coming out in 2023, I think, or 2024. I forget. They're going to do it. And another thing I talked about last night, again, as I'm going through my deep dive, as I'm putting together my dossier on the Lord of the Rings of Power, which is fucking me. That was like, I completely bit off more than I can chew on that one, because it's going to take me a number of hours to complete this research dive, and that's okay. But Warner Brothers Picture Group, well, Toby Emmerich was in talks, and New Line is involved in co-producing, which means that there will be some crossover with the Peter Jackson films, which honestly they need. If they were going to completely go away from the Peter Jackson movies, that is something that I think would cause a lot of problems. Let's see. Andrew here says, you're looking for the word witchcraft. It looks like witchcraft. There you go. All right. I do not have a hate boner for The Rock. I merely, again, you guys You guys. Dead River here, though, says every Rock movie is 100% predictable. I will say that the twist at the end of Red Notice did catch me off guard. Didn't see it coming. So I'm okay with that, you know? Let's see. The fourth here says, ugh, The Boys has an animation now. That's right. The Boys has the Diabolical series, which premieres on, I think all of the episodes drop on March 4th. So that should be interesting. Should be a lot of fun. Degrassi here says, Andy Serkis has been developing a photorealistic CGI animal farm with Weta forever. I've heard about that. Isn't that one that he's supposedly doing with Netflix? Is that the one he's doing with them? I'll have to check a look at, because I mean, like, Andy Serkis doing Animal Farm, I feel is really appropriate, because, you know, a lot of people, when they think of Orwell, you know, obviously they think 1984, right? They, you know, 1984. But fucking Animal Farm is just as poignant in a number of ways. And Animal Farm really does touch upon, I think, a bit of it's a power struggle, obviously, what's going on in the farm with the animals versus the humans. And then, of course, later on, the animals versus themselves. And of course, it ends up kind of like, it's almost like an absolute power corrupts absolutely argument. And you can even almost, in some cases, apply Animal Farm and the logic at the end of that, the moral at the end of that, what it's kind of warning against, and apply it to some fandoms even, you know. And that's really interesting too. It's a very fascinating story to look at, and it's one that I think a lot of people need to pay attention to. And again, everyone with Orwell is always like 1984, you know, because it's just, it feels like that was so much in the future when it was written, whereas Animal Farm was not. So we'll have to see. Yeah, exactly. Spherical Man, four legs good, 2 legs bad. Exactly. Let's see. Degrassi here says the 1954 animated CIA Animal Farm is fantastic. Is that on YouTube by chance? Because that'd be dope. Gotta check it out while we can, considering the fact that we might be entering into World War III. Not that I think that the whole Russia-Ukraine situation is going to go that far, but you know what? I mean, I remember back to Crimea in 2014, and that's a fucking thing. My God. All right. So with that out of the way, with that whole little intro opening tidbit right there, why don't we dive into stuff I've put together for tonight? I'm still figuring out how to format things with StreamYard here, but we're just kind of messing around tonight with a couple different things there. And let's see. Hold on. Andrew here says, what if Cars 4 winds up being a remake of Logan's Run and refutes the point of Cars 4? You mean refutes the point of Cars 3? I don't know. I mean, Lightning McQueen, when turning 27 years old, if his blinkers start to flash and he is called to the carousel and he decides to run, and you could call it Lightning Run, right? And then Mater is dispatched to track him down and bring him home. That could be fascinating. My real question, though, is in the lead up to the blinking flasher, would there be a huge Cars hedonistic orgy? Because if there is no massive fuckfest of all of those cars, especially the twins from the first movie, y'all know what I'm talking about, getting double teamed by Mater, no less, not by Lightning McQueen. He's going to be with the Porsche, but we're talking about Mater double teaming those twins. Ka-chigga, right? From there, if we don't get that weird orgy, I'm not going to be interested, because if I'm going to go watch a remake of Logan's Run in modern age, I expect to be completely filled with debauchery, hedonism, and gross things that will scar me for life. I want Two Girls, One Cup, the Pixar animated adventure, but set to the tune of Logan's Run and in the Cars universe. There we go on that one. I love it when I go off on these tangents and you get people like Anthony here. Like, that's a bad take. Oh yeah. El Senor Wet Blanket comes on in to ruin my fun. That's what he does, folks. He likes to ruin my fun. Anyway. First things first, though, it is a bit of a solemn day, to be fair, because we did find out that, it is the birthday of Alan Rickman, who died just over 6 years ago. And today, of course, would have been his, 76th birthday, if he was alive today. And obviously, this is a moment of silence sort of thing. Alan Rickman's death, man, that rocked me to my core, as it did so many other people. The man was truly a legend, truly fantastic, and I think acting is lesser without him here. I think it really is. So, with any luck, you can find a good Alan Rickman movie, whether it's any of the Harry Potters. Whether it's Galaxy Quest, by the way, that is on Amazon Prime. Whether it's Die Hard or Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, or Dogma even, where he plays the Metatron, the one voice of God, or the one true voice of God, according to the script. You can find a lot of Alan Rickman movies that are out there, and the guy is a true classic, a true GOAT, and we will absolutely miss him. So I just want to say, thanks to that one here. Let's see here. Spherical Man says, I have never seen Cars, and after that whole thing, I don't think I want to. Hashtag thanks, Jarbo. You're not really missing much. Like, overall, to be fair. All right. Like, if the Cars movies are very simple, and they're not sexy at all. I'm trying to spice them up because I feel some of you guys out there really need to have fun. But thank you for that one there. Our let's see here. All right. Geek Studio says The Rock is not a movie star. I got his autograph though. Good for you, buddy. And Andrew Dunbar here says motor oil will be everywhere. DeJarbo. Well, I mean, yeah, that's going to be, I never realized that lubricant, right? Not only does it serve a dual purpose in the Cars universe, it's also probably it's probably come in the Cars universe, Mater, he's like, oh, stick your finger in in my oil pan. It's a little bit to the left. Oh, get her done. But then it could also be considered actual lubricant, and I'm not too sure how the anatomy of that works. I haven't really dove in. I haven't really sat down and sketched out my thoughts about how the anatomy of the Cars universe is, how a car procreates or imbibes in any kind of are there booze? Is it like fuel additive? What exactly is going to be their black tar heroin? What is the equivalent? I have questions about the Cars universe. And I think I need to write a letter to John Lasseter about this. The viscosity is going to be 10 weight 30. Oh my fucking God, dude. Yeah, something like that. There you go. Multi-fandom here says, I'm sorry. The Rock is a good actor and he's good at it. He is an actor who plays himself. So, I mean, for what you want, that's what you're going to get. For what you want, that's what you're going to get. So there you go. What about bat wheels? Fuck that shit, dude. That shit's going to be so stupid. Nobody is asking for bat wheels. Nobody out there is asking for a bat wheel show starring Ethan fucking Hawke. Imagine that. You're coming off of Moon Knight, which is arguably going to be the biggest MCU show, at least in the first half of 2022. Secret Invasion is going to be the big one at the end. But just imagine you're coming off of that. And then it's all like, I'm Ethan Hawke. I was the bad guy in Moon Knight. Fuck yeah, dude. 1,800 million people saw me in this role. What's your next role, Mr. Hawke? And he's like, I'm fucking in Bat Wheels. I mean, careers ebb and they flow, but Ethan Hawke seems pretty consistent in the stuff that he does. The argument's going to be, I'm doing it for my kid. Yeah, but your daughter is Maya Hawke, who was in Stranger Things. So she's a little old to be doing the Hot Wheel stuff there, sir. So we'll have to see what goes on there. Lord Slug here says, Bat Wheels will be a hit. Maybe. I do not know. If they will. I'll check it out though. I'm gonna cancel my HBO Max here this month, and then I'll get it back soon. I think he is in Bat Wheels. Yeah, I think he is in Bat Wheels whenever it comes out. Dead River here says money. Yeah, no. Money is 100%. Money's 100%. And that's the funny thing too. When I talk about like the future of like Warners and everything else, I start talking about money. It cracks me up because like so many people out there never think about how money works in Hollywood and like what's going to, try to do well. Everything's going to be made for dirt cheap going forward. All right, let's see. H Bart's here says, me and Hans can't critique Lord of the Rings, but the Snyderverse is the only true DC film universe that makes sense. Ooh, yeah. Be Cool was The Rock's best performance. Yeah, it was, dude. I love Be Cool. I love Be Cool, man. Fourth year says, it's a crime that Sam Rockwell is not a star, even after winning Best Supporting Actor for 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, right? Missouri, I think, which is a great film. The title is exceptionally long, but it's a good movie. I was a little bit bummed that, Sam Rockwell needs a lot more. Hold on here. Andrew Dunbar says, if you mix the fluids inside an engine, you are sure to get NOx's fume. I don't think they're going to go chassis to mouth. Okay. I don't think they're going to go chassis to mouth. All right. Like, I don't think that like Mater is going to like stick his dipstick in the tailpipe and then the gas tank. You know what I mean? It just seems unsanitary, and it just seems like you're going to blow a rod, if you know what I mean. So we have that. The Batman 2022 asks, do I have tickets for the Batman? I do, actually. Yes, I'll be seeing it on March 1st when they're doing that fan screening. So I'll be seeing it in IMAX. I did buy my tickets for that. I'm very excited to check that one out. That is going to be a lot of fun when we actually get around to seeing it. I'm very excited for that freaking movie. So, all right, why don't we talk about John Carpenter here? Because this is something that caught my attention today. John Carpenter wants to make a sequel to The Thing. Which, yes, I did see someone say this in the chat. Just to reiterate, John Carpenter's The Thing is a remake of the 1951 classic, A Thing from Another World. Or, yeah, I think that's what it is. And then, there's a prequel made in 2011 that's a prequel to The Thing, also called The Thing. There's also a sequel to The Thing, a 2003 video game also called The Thing, which does have a McCready tie-in. At the end of the game, spoilers, it's been nearly 20 years, I don't care. The game should be remastered, by the way, because it was very interesting and it was fun. No, there's more to do with this, right? There's more to do with this here. Now, saying here, John Carpenter wants to make a sequel to The Thing. All right, so Carpenter hasn't made a movie in 12 years. His last film project got released in theaters. It was a small horror film called The Ward. It grossed about half of his $10 million budget and came and went very quickly. Since then, Carpenter has worked on music, both for film and for albums, and developed several projects that never quite came together. That does kind of seem like Carpenter in later years, that these projects have never really come together. You want them to, you want to see them move, you want to see them blow up, but they've obviously just never kind of gone past it. I mean, he's had his successes with cult classics, but it has come at a cost theatrically, at least. So now at 74 years old, one sometimes worries that Carpenter is unofficially retired from movie making, and The Ward may well be the last film we ever get from him. But he does at least have a few inklings about making new projects. In an interview with The Hollywood Reporter about the new 4K edition of Escape from LA, Carpenter was asked if there was any movies from his filmography that he wishes that had a sequel, and it turns out there is. He says here, I would like to do a sequel to The Thing, or a continuation, something like that. But I don't know. There are a lot of things in this world I don't know. And so, I mean, like, that's it. That is literally like the quote on that one. And I forgot to grab another article, so hold on here. So there's a movie that that is going to be coming out, right? That this might be something that they're going to be talking about here. So this is coming in from exclaim.ca, but this is a true story here. John Carpenter confirms The Thing is getting a reboot. The project is being held by Blumhouse and Universal. Now, Universal owns the rights to The Thing, both the 1982 and the 2011 film. And there's, after the success of the Halloween franchise being rebooted under Blumhouse, and coming up, I think later on this year with Halloween Ends, which according to John Carpenter in another interview says, oh no, this is pretty much the definitive ending of Halloween. So we'll see until they reboot it down the road once everyone is long and gone and dead and buried. And they need to find a way to make a quick dollar off of an old IP, because let's be fair, that's what's going to happen here. So it says here that Following reports earlier this year, John Carpenter has confirmed we're indeed getting a reboot of The Thing. By the way, this is from August 24th, 2020, so a solid year and a half ago. The director made the reveal over the weekend during a panel for Montreal's Fantasia International Film Festival. So this is what Variety reports. In a Q&A, Carpenter was asked if he had talked with Blumhouse chief Jason Blum about directing any projects himself. And he says, I have. I don't know about that. But we've talked about, I think he's going to be working on The Thing, rebooting The Thing. I'm involved with that maybe down the road. Now, this is what we know is going to be going on about this, right? So this is actually a Kickstarter called Frozen Hell, the book that inspired The Thing. You can buy this book right now, by the way. This book is out. This is from a while back. But Frozen Hell is a newly discovered expanded version of the classic sci-fi story Who Goes There, aka The Thing, by John W. Campbell Jr. So what it is they found like an extra 45 pages in the manuscript of the original story Who Goes There, and that is what Frozen Hell turned into. And they actually were able to kind of turn this into a novel, right? And this is what is going to be picked up by Blumhouse. This is what they're remaking, right? So they're doing Frozen Hell. Now, if you go and you read some of the reviews on this, like some of the reviews of the extra manuscript pages, it's really like, it hasn't done as well as, the story's not as good. Like it has some problems and it hasn't been received as well. So they're most likely going to be adapting it. They are most likely going to be altering it to be more, congruent with current times, more modernized and whatever. So this is what it says. In 1938, acclaimed science fiction author John W. Campbell published the novella Who Goes There, about a team of scientists in Antarctica who discover and are terrorized by a monstrous shape-shifting alien entity. The story would later be adapted into John Carpenter's iconic movie The Thing. The published novella was actually an abridged version of Campbell's original story called Frozen Hell, which had to be shortened for publication. The Frozen Hell manuscript remained unknown and unpublished for decades and was only recently rediscovered. Frozen Hell expands The Thing story dramatically, giving vital backstory and context to an already incredible tale. We are pleased and honored to offer Frozen Hell to you now, and as a way that Campbell intended it. And so, yeah, they put out the book. I think it's on Amazon. It's on Amazon right now. You can get it right here, right? So you can buy the book, which, by the way, I think this is a really cool, I don't need to see the preface. I just want to see, this is a cool, let me see the book there. Oh my God, come on. I just want to see the freaking, cover, man. Look at that. That's pretty fucking cool, right? I like that quite a bit. So, this is the one. Okay. So you can get the Kindle edition for $6.50. Okay. Sorry. I thought it was reviewed pretty poorly. I guess I was wrong. But there's like, a bunch of stuff there, that's going to be in this, and, you can check that one out. But it says here, you can get the hardcover for freaking $35, which is, that's kind of nuts. I don't know if I want the hardcover. I'd buy a paperback, maybe, check that one out or whatever. But, obviously this is something that's going to be, adapted by Blumhouse, and this is entirely possible, or entirely maybe what John Carpenter will be working on, because this is what they're going to be adapting. They announced this a couple of years ago. I think the pandemic has absolutely stalled things from happening, but I think that they're going to probably start ramping up production on a number of things, and it should be a fair amount of fun to see when it ever comes to fruition. I mean, personally, I'm really excited for it. I would love to see this story be told, because but look, okay, so like here's the thing with that, right? Here's the thing with this. It's going to be difficult to do this, in my opinion. If you're going to have John Carpenter herald The Thing, if you're going to have him come in and do a sequel to The Thing, and it doesn't have Kurt Russell or Keith David, and Keith David didn't survive at the end, I think he didn't survive at the end. It's been a while since I've seen it. Yeah, because it was McCready on his own at the end, right? But it's just like McCready. Now it's 40 years later, right? Or it's McCready's in like his 70s and The Thing comes back or whatever. Are they going to DH Kurt Russell again for another movie? I don't quite know how they're going to be able to make it work. And as great as Carpenter is, as much as I love Carpenter, I think maybe one of the issues with Carpenter has a lot to do with like his movies may not be able to reach a massive audience, which is why if he was going to do a movie like this, all right, if he was going to do a movie like this, I would honest to God think this would be something that would be done for Peacock. This should be a Peacock exclusive film. And I know I'm going to get pushed back by the fucking audience on this one, right? They're going to be like, no, we don't want it. No, it's theaters, man. Look, The Thing, you can watch The Thing at home. All right. You can watch The Thing at home and feel fine watching The Thing at home. You can watch it in theaters and feel fine watching it in theaters too. If somebody came to me and they were like, Matt, we've got an original 1982 print of The Thing. Do you want to go and watch it? I would be like, yep. Let me just go masturbate first because I got a raging boner from you telling me that. So let's give me 5 minutes. We'll be in the car. We'll go. And I would watch it. I would very, very much watch it. But I think a movie like this is one that would probably do better on streaming because they would get a more instantaneous push. Now, I will fully admit I could be wrong on that. If you look at John Carpenter's Halloween and the remakes of that, the reboots of that, so to speak, not only the 2007 Rob Zombie reboot, which I believe did pretty well when it came out, and the 2018 Blumhouse remake of it, or continuation and leading into the new trilogy, as well as Halloween Kills, the money that it made theatrically, even though it was available day and date on Peacock. And I think it made as much money as it did theatrically because a lot of people didn't know that it was day and date on Peacock because a lot of people don't know about Peacock. I would think to myself, okay, maybe The Thing has got so much of a cult following that it could do well. I don't know. It would all depend on like the budget. It would all depend on the budget. I don't know. I would definitely like watch it in theaters if they put it in theaters. That's not even a fucking question, but I think it would just find a bigger audience and not be deemed a flop if it actually ended up being, done whatever, on streaming. And I say this here because if you go back and you look at Box Office Mojo for The Thing, right? It released June 25th, 1982, the same freaking day as, it was the same day as I think Blade Runner. They came out at the same time. And its opening weekend only made $3 million. I think Blade Runner did like $9 million or something. And it was number 2 underneath E.T. And The Thing was all the way down at the bottom. And it only did worldwide back in the 1980s, 19 million. Now it's clearly done more than that on home video sales and probably revivals and things like that. But still, it hasn't really made a lot of money for Universal. So they said, okay, here we go. 30 years later, let's do a prequel. All right. So at an Antarctica research site, the discovery of an alien craft leads to a confrontation between graduate student Kate Lloyd and scientist Dr. Sandra Holvison. All right. So this movie had a budget of $38 million when the Thing, the budget on The Thing wasn't that much money. It was like, I think it was like 20 million or something. Okay. It came out October 2011 and it only did a worldwide total gross of 31.5 million. Now, the difference though is obviously quality. A lot of people out there didn't necessarily care for this, whereas this movie right here is heralded as a goddamn classic. But still, Universal's going to look at all that and they're going to think to themselves, okay, obviously we are dealing with a situation where these kind of movies are going to appeal to a very, very limited audience, a rabid audience, but a limited audience. So if you were to do a Thing movie and they were able to keep the budget at around like $25-30 million, which seems pretty low for a lot of these streaming movies these days. So maybe even in that, they might go a little higher and not have to worry about the print and advertising and marketing overhead costs and everything else, the distribution costs. Then they might actually find themselves in a position to potentially turn a profit off of this. And look, Carpenter's 74 years old, man. So it's like, you know what I mean? I don't know. All I know is I want more out of this world. I have looked into the lore, like the post movie lore in the comic books that came out in the early 90s. Those are actually pretty cool. There's some interesting stuff there. At the same time, I'm looking at it to myself and I'm thinking like, all right, we're clearly dealing with something that's going to be a little bit, it's going to be a little bit far-fetched, I think, a little bit to get there. So hopefully with any luck, we'll get there. Degrassi here says, I didn't hate the prequel. I had probably my Mary Elizabeth Winstead boner. Yeah, I haven't seen the prequel. At the time, I didn't have a lot of money when it came out because I had recently been fired from my job at the theater in Pasadena. So I didn't have the money to go see a lot of movies. And so that one kind of just ended up slipping off my radar. So that's the unfortunate thing there. Let's see here. Hold on. Did you guys know that HBO Max stands for HBO plus Cinemax? Yeah. Except originally, Kira, they weren't going to put on Cinemax content. And I'm pretty sure they meant like, fucking the, what's it called? What's it called? You guys know what I'm talking about here, right? The porn. It was all the softcore, porn on there, right? The softcore adult videos. It was like, are you going to watch The Lord of the G-Strings? And then I'm sitting there going like, yeah, but I'm going to watch it for the plot. Duh. And by the way, some of those movies actually had some pretty interesting plots. I don't just mean like as a reference to like nude women. I mean that literally, like some of those stories were actually kind of interesting. And they were like, you cut out the nudity and you might have yourself an interesting tale here. People might actually watch this. Sure, the acting is terrible. The nudity is boring. The sex is uninspiring, but at least the screenwriter had a bit of fun. And you can tell that they at least tried to do something interesting there. So there's that. The comic binge here says, it always makes you smile when you mention reading comics. I don't read as many comics as I should. I need to read more. But I do think comic extensions of lore are pretty cool. So I'd be okay with that one. So all right there. Just lie, Jarbo. I'm not lying. There's that Rhea here. Rhea here says Showgirls NC-17 is on Tubi. Just saying. Really, Rhea? You're all for that, are you? You're a big fan of Paul Verhoeven's 1999 Elizabeth Berkley, Kyle MacLachlan, Gina Gershon led Showgirls. That was an interesting movie. Like I grew up with Saved by the Bell, right? So when you hear that Jesse Spano is going to be full nude in this like hardcore erotic movie, and you're like not quite 17 yet, and you're going, the hell is going on? How do I see this movie? I had to wait until it came out on home video to rent it and shit. But one of my friends saw it in high school. He was a little older than me, my friend Oleg. Funny thing enough, actually, this is a weird topic. Oleg, out of the blue, randomly hit me up today. I haven't talked to him in years. So we chit-chatted for a little bit. And not about that, but just in general. But yeah, he was like, he actually went off when we were in high school, and because he was 18. And so he went off and he went and saw Showgirls. And he came back and he's all like, all right, guys, I saw Showgirls. He's like, it was terrible, but the nudity was amazing. And then, of course, that got all of us interested in watching it because that's, we're horny young men. That's how it goes here. All right. Jess here says, I used to record Skinemax for my friend for money back in high school. Nice, dude. Nice, man. That's piracy. That's illegal. But you know what? I appreciate your honesty. I appreciate your honesty on that one. I never had cable, so I had a friend of mine do that for me with like the Vivid channel, which was like hardcore porn, so it wasn't Skinemax. And he never charged me. He just gave me a tape of like 6 hours. It lasted me a long time until I loaned it to a friend of mine in San Diego. Never saw it again. Right? So Dawn, if you're listening, Dawn, you owe me a fucking blank VHS tape with like 6 hours of Raquel Darrian, Dawn. All right. Anyway, I like to make y'all laugh here, right? I like to make y'all laugh if I possibly can. I think it's pretty funny if I can. Shiny here says, yeah, Dawn. Yeah. I should DM him actually and bitch him out for that too. But anyway, that was a long time ago. Why don't we move on here to the next thing I want to talk about here, which is Sony. If I could get back to the right thing. There we go. Sony chief Tom Rothman celebrates new hit movie franchise as Uncharted hits box office milestone. Now, of course, Sony is going to come out and they're going to be touting this $51 million take home for the 4-day holiday weekend that they just got for this movie. Because I mean, honest to God, this is the slingshot effect of Tom Holland. Absolutely, right? This is absolutely the slingshot effect of Tom Holland and Spider-Man No Way Home, but it works. It works. We were looking at this last night, a 39% critic score, but a 90% audience score that's verified through Rotten Tomatoes. I mean, that's pretty good, and I read some of the comments last night on the stream and people are like, I don't trust the critic reviews or the audience score. I'm like, you should never trust either, but you use it just as a metric. You just use it as a piece of information. It's like, look at the cinema score was a B+. It's just used as a piece of information. It's not the end all be all. It's not everything you fucking need, but it's something to just kind of like gauge your interest in. Do you like video games that go bang, 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 pew, pew, bang, bang? Then you're going to probably like fucking Uncharted. Do you like Indiana Jones? You're probably going to like Uncharted. Do you want to see more of Tom Holland kicking ass without a spider suit? You're probably going to like Uncharted. There you go. And everything else. I think, like, I want to see it. So there's that. Thought about seeing it tonight, but ended up not going out. So everything. Let's see. But I think it's going to be one of those things. Anyway, let's find out more here. So it says here, exclusive. Sony's 106.4 million. Oh, wow. Yeah. By the way, hit 106.4 million worldwide for this. Global box office weekend for Uncharted was another reminder to streaming's obsessed entertainment industry that the tried and true business model of theatrical features still works and that there's still an audience for them. Sony Pictures Motion Picture Group Chairman and CEO Tom Rothman underscored this in a company-wide email Monday following the success of director Ruben Fleischer's Tom Holland Mark Wahlberg movie this weekend and extolled staffers for delivering a blockbuster hit. So rather than sell the $120 million production out of financial desperation during the pandemic, Sony believed in the event movie, protected it, and waited for the proper time to release it. This is fundamentally key. All right. This is fundamentally key. The proper time to release it. It's one of those things. It's one of those things where like in many instances, you can kind of release like a Marvel movie whenever, and it's going to do well whenever. That's kind of like untouchable by any of the other standards. But when it's not a Marvel movie, when it's something like this, having a proper weekend makes sense. February is kind of a good time to dump things. And I say this because, look, I know I saw HBart's comment there about checking out The Kingsman, which is now on Disney Plus, or no, Hulu, and I think HBO Max, which I need to check out. But the thing is, though, when you look at it like that, so Kingsman, The Secret Service, debuted in February, like Valentine's Day weekend, 2015. It went up against fucking 50 Shades of Grey. And while it didn't beat out 50 Shades of Grey, it still went on to do a modest $400 million plus worldwide, never mind its home video sales. And that allowed for, the second movie to come out 2 years later in 2017. And then, of course, we had to wait like 3 years and some change to 4 years and some change in order to get our hands on the next one. Damn you, pandemic. But still, these kind of things, when released at the right time, can have legs. February is a good time to release these kind of movies. And it worked out really well for him. And it still had the slingshot effect of Spider-Man No Way Home, which only had a 7% dip over the course of last weekend. So here's what it says. The box office results from such actions: Uncharted was supposed to do 30 million over 4 days at the domestic box office, wound up doing 51, sending its current worldwide take to 139 million. Keywords in Rothman's notes below is that he's already declared Uncharted a new hit movie franchise. And when Deadline spoke to Ruben Fleischer, he was hopeful for a sequel. And that's the thing. I mean, I'm hopeful for a sequel as well. RJ saw it. We were talking about it last night, and it ended up, I'm sure that they're going to be leading into Drake's Fortune and leading into that, which makes all the sense for me. Okay, I get that entirely. Lord Slug here says, I hope we see more of the supernatural elements in the Uncharted sequel. That's something I didn't ask about, but I also kind of hope that they do. Do. Anyway, so, having Uncharted do well is great. It's absolutely great. Having Uncharted do well for Sony is good for not only Tom Holland to give him something to do post fucking Spider-Man or in between Spider-Man, keep him busy, keep him acting, but it also allows for Sony to have the confidence to start adapting their other properties. Now, I saw someone in the comment earlier ask me about it was who was it? I think it was the Batman 22 had asked me my thoughts on The Last of Us. I don't know where the comment is. I didn't save it in time. But the thing is that The Last of Us coming to HBO Max, or I think HBO, is going to be pretty damn fantastic, because what you have is a story that I don't believe can be told in a 2-hour runtime. Uncharted is a story that could be told in a 2-hour, 2.5-hour runtime. The reason why has everything to do with the fact that this is an action adventure platforming shoot 'em up. You know what I mean? This is one of those movies or one of those franchises where the story can be condensed down and you can just hit the high beats of the action and your audience is going to be pleased. They're going to be happy with it. Whereas The Last of Us is a dark and compelling story about human nature and the depths and depravity will descend down to in the face of ultimate danger and a worldwide pandemic and death and destruction and chaos and survival, first and foremost. So telling the story of The Last of Us, where it was written as if it was a strong narrative structure about, crossing the United States from fucking Boston to Colorado, or was it Utah? I think it was Utah. Salt Lake City, I think, is in the first game. And they go across the country over the span of 3 seasons. It's definitely one that takes its time. And that's what I want to see adapted for television. I want to see that story drawn out and expanded upon and explained and shown. Whereas Uncharted is something that I can just dive on into and just go like, bang, bang, pew, pew, bang, bang, pew, pew, and like have fun with it, right? Be totally okay with it. That's kind of how I view that. So I think that to me is going to be something that I'm ultimately very excited for. And I really want to see this film and see what they do with it next, obviously. And but also think of it like this, right? Horizon. Was it Zero Dawn? I think that's the name of it, right? Anyway, the Horizon games, those are very narrative driven, very, very beautiful, has a great player base, fan base who loves it. Guerrilla did a great job with that. They could take that, tell the story of Aloy trying to uncover her past and her place and where she stands and all of this. And they could tell a story like that either through theatrical release or something on the small screen. Although in the case of fucking Horizon, I would argue that could probably be summarized in a 2.5-hour movie and make a lot of money in the box office, because I think the story is more structured for something like that. Whereas the budget constraints that would be required for a television show may not be there. However, with the advancement of the of stagecraft technology and everything else, we're obviously at a place now where this kind of stuff could be a reality. So I think it's going to be pretty cool. I am excited to see what they do with this in the future. I would love to see Sony actually start adapting some of these properties and giving us some stuff. I know Ghost of Tsushima is going to be coming out as well. I would love a God of War. I think that would be amazing. Ratchet and Clank, I know they've already done like a movie, but they could do more with that. Whatever else Sony has, they have a lot of properties. I'm still waiting for the goddamn Metal Gear Solid movie. Why hasn't that been made yet? What's going on with that? I don't quite know. I don't quite know. Degrassi here says, where is the fucking Confess Fletch trailer? God damn it. I don't know, man. I've been waiting for years. Do you remember when Jason Lee was actually attached to play Fletch? And I think Kevin Smith was going to write it or direct it or something. That was a long time ago. All right. Sorry, I needed something to drink. HWAD with James Gunn. I mean, who knows? Maybe I can get James Gunn to stop by and have a conversation. I doubt it. That man is busy. He's super busy. So, okay. Let us continue. And all right. Where is the next one here? Okay, this is something that's interesting. That's why I put Terminator in there. So, first print VHS tape of Terminator auctioned for $32,500. Now, what this tells me is that we have now gone into we have gone so far into nostalgia, so far into the analog, that we are going to be hearing more of these stories, like the first print tape of Raiders of the Lost Ark without the Indiana Jones attached to it, right? Without it being part of a trilogy. You know, Star Wars, like, you know, when that whole stuff dropped, like all those movies, people out there are going to be selling off these first edition VHS tapes for a lot of money. You know, this is something, I mean, well, okay, the Batman here says, what a waste of money. The VHS will fade over time. It's not about necessarily watching it on VHS. Okay. It's really about having the first print edition of it. You know what I mean? It's like having a first print of the Gutenberg Bible. I'm not comparing the two. I'm just using it as an example. And it's going to be something that, like, you know, you may not read or watch, whatever, but having it is going to be a thing. Reed here says, don't make it an NFT. That's where my thought went to, by the way. That's where my thought. Yeah, Momoon here says that too. VHS NFT. That's exactly what it felt like to me. So I was very much in that mode of like, all right, yeah, don't do this. But let's find out. Let's find out more here. So according to this, if I'm like, great, my browser froze. So give it a second here, guys. The browser totally froze here. Can I can't even reset it. All right. So yeah, we're going to be, give it a second. I don't know what caused it. Usually it's not that bad. Let's see here. Jess says those Disney clamshell cases can go for 100. Yeah, right. I remember those clamshell cases. You know what's funny is why is it that Disney and Disney Home Video had the clamshell and so did pornography? Why is it that both, like, something made for kids and something made for adults also had very oversized clamshell cases, letting everyone in your home know exactly what it was? That's not me being perverted. That is me asking a serious logistical question about how things were with the VHS market back in the 80s and 90s. So talk amongst yourselves. So it says here, for those of you who didn't preserve their original copy of The Terminator from 1984, we now know why you cry. A first print VHS of Arnold Schwarzenegger sci-fi thriller recently sold for $32,500 at an online auction. The item boasted quality gradings between 9 and 10 out of 10 for every inspection category aside from the physical tape corners and edges, which still produced an admirable 7 out of 10. See, isn't it okay? So because I don't know about the comic grading. All right. Like, I don't know if that's what it is. Is that shit even a thing? Is that like I've always like looked at that whole market as being like a wine connoisseur. You know, they're largely full of shit, right? They're largely full of shit. Like, they just make it up. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. Like, is this even a thing? I might need to look into this, because I know in the comic grading world, like, you know, that can add to a value that a book has. But is it a real thing? I don't know. I just fucking work here. You know, Degrassi here says it's a racket. Dead River says totally. I'm assuming you mean it's bullshit. I don't quite know. Yeah, wine tasting is bullshit. It really is. It's like, it's all like, ooh, I can taste the apricot and the stems for a fine, robust taste in the back of my throat while I gargle on this boxed wine from Trader Joe's. You know, it's very, anyway. I don't know, man. I'm such a moron. All right. The long-running franchise debuted in 1984 as a low-budget thriller that became an unexpected hit and launched James Cameron and his two breakout leads, Schwarzenegger and Linda Hamilton, into superstardom. Did it, though? Did it really launch Linda Hamilton into superstardom? I know she was on that Beauty and the Beast show with Ron Perlman back in the day, but would you really argue that Linda Hamilton's career, like, super did well after the Terminator 2 film that came out in 1991? I don't know. We'll have to, you know, I don't know. I'm just saying. You know, all right. So, okay. So yeah, that's really about it. That is really about it. So, okay. TMZ has got a better article on it here. The Terminator is back. VHS makes 32,500 online. I mean, look at this here. Look at this. If I can bring it up in a new tab. It's great. Oh my God. It's so fucking graded. Look at this. It's like 9.5 gem, 8.5 mint, investmentgrading.com. Okay. Sure. It's like, I mean, maybe, you know, I don't even know, man. I don't even know what to think about this, to be honest. Like, I love the Terminator, right? I've, you know, it's such a great film. I like them all, to be fair. Some more than others, obviously, but I like them all, to be fair. And then I look at this and I just laugh because this thing sold for $32,500, and they graded a VHS tape. You know, and I'm sitting there going like, well, maybe I go pull up my 1996 copy of, or 1994 or 5 copy of fucking Jurassic Park. You know, when I bought that brand new from Suncoast Video and shit. I mean, the case is probably tore up now, but I know the fucking movie still looks good. All it is that they're buying, literally all they're buying is just the fucking box art, dude. They're just buying the goddamn box art. You know, I mean, that's it. They're literally, does he open it up? Does he pop it in? Or is he just like, I have a first run copy of this? I don't know. The Batman here says, I wonder who bought this. Was it a regular person or a famous person? It was clearly a person with money. Probably somebody with like fucking Bitcoin money or something. Batman here says, I should put my Titanic VHS up on eBay. You know what here? You know what we'll do? Hold on. We'll take a, you know what? We'll take a look here. I'll bring it up real quick. I don't want to sign in with that. Okay. VHS. I'm just going to bring up, on here, in eBay. We'll just take a quick look at eBay and see. All right. VHS. Okay. Yeah. Condition. We're going to get rid of this condition. Brand new, like new. Hold on. Can I do? Okay. Like new. Maybe it's very good. Okay. All right. So we'll do all listing VHS graded. All right. Let's see. Let's see what we can find here. Okay. Here we go. Look at this here. A rare 1989 VHS IGS graded 7.5 box, 7 seal with watermarks, rare Batman on VHS for $225, right? I mean, what in the ever-loving ass? Then look at this here. Jurassic Park. So this is the one I bought. 1994. That's when I would have bought it. First print, Jurassic Park VHS, Spielberg sealed, graded film. So graded 8 for $60. Look at this. It is Starship Troopers on VHS for fucking $1, man. Right? Set filter to highest price. Okay. Highest price. Price highest first. There we go. Okay. Thank you, buddy. Thank you very much. What? Okay. Here we go. UFC number 1, The Beginning, VHS, 9.6 A++ Ultimate Fighting sealed IGS near perfect, $25,000. Who the fuck is going to pay $25,000 for this, right? Like, who in the hell? Look at this here. Factory sealed UFC 1, The Beginning VHS, $22,000. What? Okay. 1 of 1. Double mint Karate Kid VHS sealed IGS highest graded with price hype sticker, $22,000. I gotta see this here. $22,000 for this. Look at this here. 1995. It's got a sticker on it, and they're like with hype sticker or with price sticker on it, and it's graded. That's some old mid-90s shrink wrap right there, man. For $22,000. Look at this here. $22,000 for The Last Starfighter. right? Like this is hold on. Dead River here says vintage guitar amps go for less. Yeah, I know. Kira's like $16 for shipping. Well, look, if you're gonna drop fucking $22,000, obviously that's where it's at. But before we wind everything down tonight, we do have Saggy Melons joining us. What's going on, Saggy?
Is this a 5 o'clock free crack giveaway?
No, that would be down at your local DNC headquarters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well, what's up?
not much. We are laughing at how much these rare graded mint condition VHS tapes are going for.
But why?
I don't know. People have money. I mean, you got The Last Starfighter here. You've got Rock and Rule, MGM, Big Box. Ooh, the Big Box. Graded 8.0. Jaws, VHS graded 1983 VHS release. First release. I mean, it's Jaws with an 8.5.
God, this is making me feel old because it's like
Oh, you want?
VHSs are that old now, where they're that expensive. They're that
Well,
rare.
what we were talking about was a Terminator, right? Was a Terminator VHS, first print edition of the Terminator from 1984, sold for $32,500. So we went on eBay and we're looking up some of these ones that are going to do well. Benson here for £2. Thank you, Benson. Says you should get your Bailey J tapes valued. I don't own any Bailey J tapes, buddy. All right. I just happen to know who she is and I've seen her in action. Okay. So there's that. And also don't look up who Bailey. Do not Google Bailey J.
Now
unless you are. Well, if you're at home and no one's around, then you can Google it, but don't do it in a public space. Jess here for $5, buddy. Thank you. Says there was a scam going on with Nintendo games being auctioned for $100,000 and more. It just lies trying to sell. I honestly feel like this is a lot of the same stuff here, right? You know, because I mean, look at this here. TMNT, the original film from Alliance Canada. So it's a Canadian VHS tape dropped in 1990 for $12,750. I mean, like, dude, I own that fucking tape. I have it somewhere, you know.
Watch that right now.
Yeah, look, another UFC. I mean, not even like Star Wars, man. Like Star Wars isn't going for as much. Star Wars Return of the Jedi, VHS sealed, CBS, Fox Red Label, IGS graded 9 out of 9. $9,000. You're telling me that Star Wars is going for fucking less than Ultimate Fighting Championship? I mean, are wrestling simps, do they have that much fucking money? I guess, you know. So but some of these I just kind of want to go through and watch some of these again. Look, The Black Hole. I found your movie.
Yeah, you got jokes.
I got
jokes.
That's
wild. Well, you'd be surprised. Like, I'm not surprised. It's crazy the amount of money people pay for things that are like vintage. God, I can't believe I'm old enough to call VHS tapes vintage now.
Yeah, I remember like going to the store and like renting like 5 or 6 VHS tapes and having it just last like a weekend. You know,
right?
Like just diving in.
I remember when you could go to like your local video store and rent video games and everything. It's just so crazy how the world has changed.
You can actually rent video games now from like your library. Like my library, I went there when I was going there before my daughter, you know, the whole thing with her schooling got kind of crazy. They had like brand new DVD releases. We're talking like Black Widow, Fast 9, like new movies were already available to rent at the library. And I'm like, God damn, they have a pretty decent Blu-ray collection. They have a good DVD collection. I'm like, I could just go here and just rent movies and shit.
Right, but how long is the return policy for like
a week, maybe?
Okay, because I remember
I'll have to ask.
I remember when they used to let you rent games, but the games weren't like the games back then didn't take you a whole week to beat. Sometimes it would just take a few days. They were very simple.
Or
back then.
Even less than that. Like, what is it? The Lion King SNES game I beat in like 2 hours. You know, it's very short. It, you know, I was just that good. Look at this Ghostbusters, $7,500. Another fucking a lot of Karate Kids on here. A lot of Karate Kids. You know what this is? You know what this is right here, guys? You know why the Karate Kid is as big as it is? Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai. It's all Cobra Kai.
I was just gonna say the value of that went up when Cobra Kai was dropped and it was successful.
Yeah. Tony here says, fun fact, Bend, Oregon has the last ever Blockbuster. Exactly. I need to head down there.
Didn't they have
Maybe I'll
a
do that.
documentary? They had a documentary
They
about
did,
that.
yeah. There's a documentary on Netflix about it, I believe.
Yeah, I
I'm
watched it.
only
It's
about
actually really cool.
I'm only 5 hours away from it, and I thought about because I'm not because just the thing like with my birthday being next month, my girlfriend is asking me like what do you want to do? Like where do you like do you want to go anywhere? Do you want to do whatever? Some of my friends, another one of my friends is turning 40 in early April, and he's going to Vegas, and he's like, hey, trying to get people to go to Vegas and stuff. And I'm looking at the prices for like I was actually like pricing out like going to Vegas tonight. I'm like, I can't fucking afford this. Like, like even off strip, this shit's gonna be pretty expensive for me right now. But I
Right.
could probably go and like rent a car. Not that my car, I would just rent a car for the sake of it, and then drive the 5 hours, like stay in a hotel overnight, go to the Blockbuster, check it out, drive back, see my, maybe grab my brother, go with me or something like that. Go down, check out the Blockbuster, because that's something I want to do. I know that's like a really stupid nerdy thing, but it's either that or I might fly to Alaska, stay for a couple of days in Juneau, because it's cheap. I can fly from Seattle to Juneau and back for $250.
Not bad.
Juneau's a tiny ass town. There's not much to do there, but like I've been there before and I'm going there again this summer. But just wouldn't mind going and like getting to Alaska for a couple of days. It's kind of like just to get away, be nice.
Yeah,
but that's kind of where I'm at with it right now.
Question.
Yeah.
Wasn't Blockbuster trying to do like I think I heard back in the day when Netflix first started that Blockbuster was going to try to do their own streaming service, and I don't know if that ever was true or if they even attempted it.
They never. There were talks about doing a streaming service. What they did do is they did. So the whole rumor, the whole story of Blockbuster is that Reed Hastings got really fucking triggered by the late fees. And he was like, fuck that, right? So he created Netflix as a way to say fuck you to Blockbuster, because like he wanted to do something that like didn't have late fees. And so then from there, Netflix started picking up steam. And then there was a point in time where Netflix had gotten big enough to get on Blockbuster's radar, and Blockbuster had the opportunity to buy Netflix, and they passed. And then Netflix retained its own entity and started building out from there. And they launched their streaming service, believe it or not, all the way back in 2007.
Well, I remember getting the disc sent.
Yeah, but then they're still doing the discs, actually.
Really?
Not as much, I think. Maybe they aren't anymore, but I know they were up until recently. I read something about it. But think about this. This year marks 15 years of Netflix instant streaming. Because back then it was called Netflix Instant. And I mean, that's massive, right? Like it's been that long. Well, Blockbuster never got in on the streaming game. Instead, what they tried to do is taking their franchise, and they wanted to expand outward with Blockbuster kiosks. They wanted to take on fucking Redbox. And so they started putting out these kiosks, and they just kind of failed to like pick up steam. Redbox already had the market relatively cornered, especially if you have a deal for like every fucking 7-Eleven as a Redbox, And so that's a lot of what so they ended up just screwing themselves by not getting on it at the right time. Now, Redbox, on the other hand, this was a couple of years ago, they tried getting in on the streaming game. They actually did. They tried getting in and starting their own streaming service to compete with Netflix. And they were trying to use their customer base that rents movies from their service and get them into streaming. I'm like, dude, no, just stick with the discs. Because at this point, you fuckers are the ones keeping all this shit afloat.
Right.
And I still, I mean, I haven't rented from Redbox in quite some time, but like I used to rent games from them. I don't think you can really do that anymore. So I would mostly rent games, and I would be tracking, I'd be refreshing the page. I'm like, I want to rent this game. Where is it at in my area? I'll even travel like as far as 20 miles out to go get my hands on it, And so, ended up just, doing all that. I mean, but now it's, I can Games Pass and fucking download whatever and play whatever and shit.
You know what I miss though? Do you remember, did you have an Xbox 360?
Yeah, I got mine November 22nd, 2005 at 9 p.m. Pacific.
Oh my God.
Hold on. In the Mojave Desert. at the Xbox 360 official launch party hosted by Microsoft.
You're a freaking nerd.
Goddamn right, I'm a fucking nerd, dude.
But do you remember though? Do you remember the friggin' that you were able to watch Netflix with like your friends online? Like they put your little avatars in movie theater and you guys could watch Netflix together, and like that was so cool. And I really wish that they just continued doing that stuff with not just Xbox but all the platforms. Like they had so many like really good things, and that's why I liked Xbox 360. That's why I made the switch from Sony to Xbox back then, because they had the fact that you could watch movies on Netflix with your friends, which was cool, and then that game, that 100, oh my god, they gave you real prizes, like they gave you Microsoft points as currency for winning, and that was like so cool. And then they stopped it, and I'm like, why did you guys stop that? That was like the coolest thing you guys could do with that no other system was doing, is having your little avatars play games with over 100 people and win actual Microsoft points to buy like DLCs and stuff. It was like the most craziest thing, and I really wish they kept that. And it's sad that they removed that, and I don't know why they did, but it's like, oh, those are good times. I'd love to have a Netflix PlayStation party, watch a movie on Netflix or watch a show on Netflix with my friends, because that was really, it was that.
I missed that, to be honest with you. I missed that. The watch parties are pretty cool. And then the 100 was a lot of fun. Microsoft for a time was really trying to build out the Xbox Live community by actually making it a community with community events. And I always really supported that. I'll tell you what I loved is back in the day when they were doing original content for Xbox Live. And so they would do shows. They would do weekly shows. And they would do things like tips and tricks for upcoming games. And they would, like what's new, that's Xbox exclusive. And they did a bunch of these little shows that I always I would tune in. I would tune in every week. I would watch them, and this is before the proliferation of YouTubers. So there wasn't, there really wasn't, like, let's say, a lot that was going on. Hold on, so I can find it. Yeah. So there's one here. I can actually, yeah, here we go. I'll bring this up here. All right. So this is oh shit. All right. I'm going to have to fucking close it out and then reopen it back up again.
Real quick though, before you find it, I just want to say before I forget, Radical, like I remember Xbox Live Uno with the video chat, and it was fun. However, it very quickly turned into like chat roulette, and every time I joined a lobby, it was just a dude on cam with his penis out.
When the PlayStation 4 first launched, I actually watched a couple have sex on PlayStation Live. They were in a hotel. They were in a hotel room in Vegas, and they were drunk and they were like fucking around, and they had, I think, like 400 or 500 people. No, it was like 2,000 people watching, I think. And like the dude was like fucking like fingering her to the point of where she squirted. I'm not even making this up.
How was that a thing though? Like how?
Because like nobody reported. This is in the middle of the night. Like nobody reported it. Like no one reported it until after. But I'll tell you this though, during that time though, they did dox them. Like the people, they thought they were like, oh, no one's going to know who we are on here, and no one's going to find out. No, like somebody found out. Like they found the guy's gamer tag or his PlayStation Network name, and they were able to Google him. And then like I was following the thread on 4chan, and then like right there, it's like, here's their name, here's their profiles, here's their kids, here's this, here's this, and everyone's just watching this whole thing play out. And they're like, honey, they know our name. But they didn't stop. They kept going. They were true pioneers.
True degenerates.
So let me bring this up here. So this is, now some of you guys, just to preface this, some of you guys might have heard of a little show on G4 TV called Code Monkeys, which was a 2D kind of side scroller show. It was like a video game show set in the 1980s at a video game development company. And it's crazy as fuck. I love that show. Code Monkeys was that show.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Tony here says, only on HWAD do we discuss entertainment with the side order of sex. I'm always, yeah. Like I said, you're not going to get this kind of shit elsewhere. You're just not going to get it. All right, this is what you come to HWAD for. You blow your HWAD on HWAD.
All right, Harley Quinn, calm down.
Yeah. Hello there, Mr. J.
Matt channeled his inner Harley Quinn, and I'm just,
oh my God, a Yahtzee. That's my code word for my ejaculate.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that remembers Code Monkey either. Code Monkey was such a funny show.
Yes, it was. Only lasted 2 seasons, ended on a cliffhanger. Fuck you, G4. Bring this shit back. I'd watch it in a goddamn heartbeat. If we're rebooting things, let's reboot this. But this right here, Your Dungeon, My Dragon, was a show that was created by the guy who Adam De La Pena, I think is his name, for the Xbox Live service. They were trying to get into their own animation, and this is what they came up with. This is a show called presented by Toyota, because it was the Yaris back there before the gas version of the Prius. But this was a real thing.
To rock. I said, are you ready to rock? Coming to the stage, men want to be him, women want him. The man, the myth, the legend, your new ruler. Put your hands, claws, and paws together for the evilest man on the planet. Devious, most evilest. Did you like that? Sounded like you like that. We'll get used to it because there's going to be a lot of that going on. As many of you know, I've been taking over for Korlor, the former ruler of Lower Earth, who died.
What happened to him?
He slipped in the shower.
I told him like 1,000,000 times to get some shower flowers.
What are shower flowers?
They're those non-slip flowers you put in your tub and or shower.
Do those work? I have some, and they are awesome.
They're pretty cool.
Moving on, I did not ask for this job, but I guarantee you, I will rock it.
Nice top notes.
Thank you. Any questions?
What manner of beast are you?
I'm a Warcula, half Dracula, half Warlock.
How does something like that even happen?
Story as old as time, really. My father was a Count Dracula. Maybe you've heard of him? He's pretty famous. Anyway, he got tired of the life, up all night, biting young women, been there, done that. So he decided to settle down and met my mom, a wonderful young warlock, and long story short, here I am.
Wait a minute, aren't warlocks men?
No, there are some female warlocks.
Yeah, they're called witches.
I think you are mistaken, my friend.
Get the guide.
That wouldn't be necessary. Really? We're gonna get the guide. Where's the trust, guys? Where is the trust?
Here it is. Got it. Warlock W, a male conjurer.
Why would someone conjure mail?
No one even uses mail anymore.
Now an email conjurer? That would be something.
Enough! What does it matter? What the hell are you anyway?
I'm a zonkey.
Whew, what is that all about?
Half zombie, half donkey. At times.
And what are you, glass houses?
It's so early 2000s, isn't
Well, that's
it?
lame.
It's not that
It
bad.
really is.
Got any cool powers?
I can drive a car.
Well, that's not exact.
Anyway, I'm not going to watch another 10 minutes. Well,
That mic though is so friggin' loud.
oh, it is. It is. Well, this only did one episode. That's the whole point of me bringing it up, right? They had planned, I think, 5 or 6 episodes for the season, and they did the one episode, and then they never released any other episodes. And so I felt like I always wanted to see where it's not a terrible thing. I would really recommend you guys check it out. But, you know, it's one of those things where it's very early 2000s. It's, you know, yeah, Eric Z here says kind of reminds me of Aqua Teen Hunger Force, you know, a little bit like that. Yeah. Kira here says getting some Newground vibes. It's like an 8-bit RPG. I mean, that's kind of the whole point is it's, you know, it's meant to be like very much like that. But, you know, that was the thing with Xbox is they tried creating this content and then it just eventually they just got rid of it all. And I was always really bummed about that.
Same. It's same because like it was Xbox did something that like PlayStation and Nintendo weren't doing, and they made that little exclusive thing with you watching Netflix, because Netflix had just came out, so you could, if your friend had Netflix and you all had Netflix, you could all watch together, and it was cool, and they utilized the little avatar stuff. Everyone used to spend time making their little avatar, change the clothes. They utilized that, and then the 100 came out, and that was really awesome. And then all of a sudden, it was just all gone, and I'm like, why? Like, that stuff was amazing. That was what really brought like the Xbox community together. I remember having late night parties with people, watching movies together. It was fun.
Yeah,
Party
it was.
chat.
I feel like they've with the way that licensing rights are these days, and how everything else has kind of come together. They've really done a lot to kind of push you away for that here. Now, Kira says, then Amazon Twitch watch parties are the thing now. The thing is, though, they're not, because there's like Twitch is really like really going after things like that. And so that ends up being a problem for watch parties, and I know a lot of people still kind of do it, but it's like, I don't want to get, my shit in trouble and whatnot. But it's like, people do a lot of it now through Discord. They threw a lot of it now through Discord, where like Geekdom 101, who's a buddy of mine, he does his for patrons. He'll do like a watch party on stuff. And, you get like 20, 30 people in there, and he just streams it and you watch it. And I want to do that with HWAD as well. But, I want to try to make it like as legal as humanly possible. I don't know. I feel really awkward going like, hey, why don't we watch the latest movie that just hit VOD or something, and we'll watch it together. I feel like that's going a bit too far. But if it's like an older film from like the 90s or early 2000s, I don't really care.
Well, let's be real with Twitch, though. Like, Twitch legitimately does not care about like those watch parties. Like, they really don't care about those watch parties. I was actually watching a video that was explaining the problem with Twitch and why it's like different, because Twitch was like the first streaming service for gamers and stuff. And the whole fact of like when all those Twitch streamers were getting banned for doing watches of TV shows and stuff. I guess I saw where Twitch put out an email or statement where they were basically saying, yeah, guys, and this is not what they said. They obviously worded it better, but in the nutshell, when you read it, they basically were saying like, yeah, so guys, if you're gonna watch some copyrighted material, just make sure when you're done with the live stream, you just private or delete the video replay, so you don't get caught by the copyright owners, so we don't have to deal with the bull crap and have to ban you for legal reasons. But they really, that when I saw that, I was like, they really don't care. That's the difference between Twitch and YouTube, where YouTube has like automatic systems that do that, and it's annoying for content creators, but I get why they do it. It's more like they're trying to just protect their butts. But
Yeah.
Twitch don't care. Twitch don't care.
Well, I mean, I know a lot of it's after. I know with YouTube, a lot of the problem does stem from like, as you're live. Like if I'm watching a trailer or something with you guys, I have to keep checking to see whether or not it's been flagged, whether or not the system itself identifies copyrighted material being played. I checked during the 2.5 minutes we were watching Your Dungeon, My Dragon, and nothing popped up. But it's like last night, for example, I showed like, I think a 2-minute clip. Not even that. It's like less than 2 minutes of Leon the Professional showing RJ, one of the more violent scenes in the movie. And I got 2 copyright claims on just for that one scene. Not me singing Don't Ya by Pussycat Dolls, which by the way was terrible. But no, that scene had 2 individual copyright claims. So it's like, all right, like it's just that kind of shit. It just happens. It's one of the worst parts about doing the YouTube stuff. It's like, clearly this stuff is meant to be disseminated by the audience. It's terrible shit. Now H-Bars here asks, do you think Adam Sessler is a piece of shit? Yes.
Yes.
There's
100%.
no other way for me to answer that question than to say, yes, he's 100% a piece of shit. Rational here says, Matt Saggy, remember GRAW? You mean Ghost Recon Advanced Warfare or Warfighter? Whatever it was. I remember that.
I don't know.
Yeah, that was it was okay. It was okay.
I was into Halo, Call of Duty on the Xbox 360, and then Left 4 Dead was another one. So I was really into mostly Halo and Call of Duty. I was toggling between those 2 games and then Left 4 Dead as well. So 3 games. Those are the games I was playing with all my friends.
Oh, okay.
I played with friends. Oh my god, Left 4 Dead. Oh my god, those games used to be hilarious because, man, we gave all the special infected special names. Like we called the boomer. That one was Precious. We called it Precious. So anytime we see it, we wouldn't call it Boomer. We'd be like, hey, Precious is coming. I hear Precious. They're around somewhere. Careful. And then Percy was the tank. It was great. It was a good time. I miss
well, was it Turtle Rock, the guys who made Left 4 Dead with Valve? They just did that one, Back 4 Blood, as like a spiritual successor to it. And yeah, like I hear it. I played it one time. I was kind of bored with it.
I mean, they tried to bring back that whole Left 4 Dead feel nostalgia thing, and it's like it's hard when you hit gold with a game and then you just try to bring it back like years later, and it's just not as good as it was. Like, I'd still play Left 4 Dead. If a lot of people played, I'd still play Left 4 Dead.
They should put it on the Xbox Games Pass and then just have it. I think a lot of people still play it. So let's see. H Marts here says Left 4 Dead on PC added Teletubbies, or he added Teletubbies. Oh my god.
Jarbo, have you ever watched? There's this YouTuber who puts mods in games and makes them like hilarious. Like, they did one for the same dude. Like, they make mods for these games. It's funny. The Bernie Sanders one in Resident Evil 7 was the most funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, Bernie Sanders in his chair just chasing you around the house. It's cracked me up. But no, I've seen a lot of those mods. They're absolutely hilarious when you see them. Freaking Teletubbies.
Well, here, I'll just say this real quick. If anyone does want to watch more of the Your Dungeon, My Dragon, all 6 episodes are available on YouTube. So I guess they're all on there now. You can watch that ill-fated 2011 animated show. But here's something that's kind of funny. I actually came across this, sadly, because I saw someone respond to a quartering video about it. But so with Lord of the Rings coming out, right? And that whole thing being a bit of a dumpster fire, Amazon put this out the other day. The Lord of the Rings superfans review the Rings of Power official teaser trailer. And it's cringe, right? It's pretty cringe. And obviously it got blasted by a lot of people. In fact, the Quartering put out a video today and it's already at like 250,000 views. Just talking shit about this. That is how much hatred there is towards the Lord of the Rings right now with this show. We won't take a look at it here, but I wanted to look at the fact that Amazon actually had to unlist it. Amazon actually unlisted this. And it's got 42,000 views, right? 42,000 views. Only 131 likes. I don't even know what this number is.
I'll tell you. Give me a sec. Can you link it? Can you link?
Oh, yeah. Oh, do you have that? I don't have that that extension.
Yeah, I have that extension, baby. I can tell you. Can you just link me? Because I need it.
Yeah. There you go. Put it in the side chat there.
Okay,
so yeah, they're doing that. Now, I haven't watched the full 12 minutes yet. I don't know how big a fan. Oh, that's a pretty big one. What are we looking at here?
Whoa, 9.3K dislikes.
Yeah.
And that
so you can basically see why,
I'm so curious now. I'm so curious. Why is it so much? Oh my god, that's so many. Are the comments still on? Yes, they are.
Yeah, comments are still on. So we can take a look through here at the sort by top comments. We'll stop by. All right. So Trade Prosper here says with 1.1 thousand likes. So they are super fans of diversity and inclusion, but not Tolkien. Okay. So K1181 says, we made a promise to ourselves at the beginning of the process that we weren't going to put any of our own politics or our messages or our own themes into these movies. What we were trying to do was analyze what was important to Tolkien and try to honor that. In a way, we were trying to make these films for him, not ourselves. Peter Jackson. Oh, that's right. I read that quote yesterday. Annie Ket here says, I really hope these characters in the show talk exactly like these super fans. That will complete the parody that is Rings of Power. Oof. Amazon is mocking millions of Lord of the Rings fans. It's so disgusting. I mean, I don't know if I'd go that far. I don't know yet. We haven't seen it, so we can't really like say. So that's kind of weird. And then Ganja Gaming here says, there is no curse in Elvish, Entish, or the tongues of men for this treachery. Oh, shit. Let's see. I did not expect this at all. This is them taking a stance and naming the video Superfans as if to mock the idea of a Tolkien reader. Oh, yeah. Look, here's a quartering. There's zero chance the show isn't an unmitigated disaster, and I couldn't be more excited. See, this is the whole thing, right? Even though he's only got, 163 likes, and he's 10 hours ago with 1.19 million subs, you can tell that really what it is that he's, again, this is the whole point. These guys are excited for this, right? These guys are excited for this show to fail, and without even giving it like a chance, really. And that's unfortunate to me.
I mean,
because
we're used to this by now, though.
I know.
It's so used to it by now. I mean, it's like I think it's fair to say, like, it's fair for us to have our thoughts on it and kind of pick it apart based on what we see, or even like, for instance, like maybe like, for instance, like if they decide to come out with a new Wayne's World, I'd be skeptical as hell, because like we've seen how a lot of these projects have kind of disappointed us, and I think a lot of fans at this point, I think we all kind of low-key set ourselves up for disappointment in a lot of the stuff we see now, especially when it comes to franchises. We are always setting ourselves up for disappointment, because it's like, it's easier to go in and be like, if this sucks, at least I went into this knowing it sucked, so I don't feel as bad, as far as being super excited. What the whole that crap is scaring me?
Oh, sorry. This is I guess a part where the super fan is asking, what's the point of forging the rings? I kind of got to see this. I haven't watched this video yet. I just, I got to see what the fuck, if this is real.
Ring right now.
Hold on, let's go back.
Because during the Second Age, this is where like Sauron comes in and he's like, yo, I'm going to see
He's like, yo,
I'm going to see
I'm gonna make a ring right now.
I'm going to try to make some rings.
I feel like there needs to be a reason for the rings to be made, right? So obviously with the wars happening, and then like, oh,
What
was the reason?
Sauron wanted to corrupt people.
corrupt and control.
And plus, if we had that all like straight away, we need season 2, multiple seasons, you know.
Do you think we're gonna see another side of Sauron?
Yes.
Like maybe he falls in love.
I
Maybe
mean,
That was poorly edited. Did you catch that?
No, go back. What did I
That
miss?
was poorly. Okay, so they're asking about like they're trying to jump around. It feels like here. Maybe I misheard it.
He's like, yo,
I'm going to see
I'm gonna make a ring right now.
I'm going to try to make some rings.
I feel like there needs to be a reason for the rings to be made, right?
Yep, I
So
saw it
obviously
right
with
there.
The wars happen.
Yeah. So oops, shit.
And then like, oh,
Yeah, like right there. Like, can you see-
That was a clip. That was a splice. Like, he didn't even finish his sentence.
Yeah. So it's like whatever it is, but then sure, her reaction right there. What is the reason? And then
What was the reason?
but then she quotes like they do the drop. I don't know what that reference is right there. Maybe that's probably from the movies. It's been a while since I've watched them, but really it's like that was a cut right there. And it came across as disjointed. So I think to me, that's one of those things where, again, and like the quartering was like overreacting at that as well. Like, oh my God, how could they do this? How, and it's like, dude, the video's kind of poorly put away. And then, Rational here says Christopher Tolkien was the only person in the Tolkien family that cared about the lore, and he's dead now. The rest of the Tolkien family estate is greedy for money. The show is nothing but a cash grab. And here's the thing with that. He's not wrong. In fact, Christopher Tolkien passed away like almost 2 years ago at the age of 95. And he, when he stepped down from the estate and trust, that's when they started negotiating these rights. And, I mean, eventually, like the last Vanguard is going to step down. You know what I mean? Like eventually it's even like, look at Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. They find the last knight guarding the Holy Grail, and in the end, he fucking dies. Yeah, like with the rest of them, like the last vanguard dies, and with it goes the Cave of Wonders, so to speak. So I don't know, man. I mean, it's like there is some shit here where like there's even a quote in the trailer or in the comment section from the, if I could get down here and find it. Let's see. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So it only felt to us that an adaptation of Tolkien's work would reflect what the world actually looks like. Lindsay Weber, executive producer, Lord of the Rings. And that she said that in the Vanity Fair article that's out there. Man, like
I wish Hans was here in the chat right now, because like Hans has been like expressing his like not liking the idea, but he like Hans is a very hardcore Star Wars and Lord of the Rings fan, so he knows his stuff.
yeah.
And
Oh no, 100%. Yeah.
he would be,
I
he'd be rolling his eyes right now.
I just look at this and I'm like, I don't want it to like, I'm holding off all judgment until I see it. Like that is hands down what I'm doing. But still, you look at this sort of thing and you're just like, man, what are they going to do? What are they going to do?
They should not put out this video. I'll tell you, that's what they should have done.
Well, they took it. They unlisted it. And, obviously this is pretty bad. I do want to see though, what their reactions are to everything. Cause I mean, they did a reaction to the trailer, right? I think this is, did they show their reactions?
Yeah, they show their, there.
Let's see. That's one fair.
Things that like don't have much power. So, but
The way
yeah,
you describe it sounds like Sauron's in like a ring store. I'm like, can I try that one? I'm a size
One
R.
of those, one of those.
one doesn't fit. For me as well, like the one thing that I spotted from the trailer was just like how expansive of a look we're gonna get towards like the second age.
Yeah.
It's been not previously like very much touched upon, and so I'm very excited to see how Prime Video like takes it and just shows us this whole kind of new look at Middle Earth.
Watching the trailer and trying to work out, right, where are we here? The locations and the sets, is all very exciting. So just trying to theorize what we're going to see in the series, because there's still so much we don't know.
I also want to know why they were fighting. Who's fighting? Why are they fighting?
Literally.
Where are we? Who are they? What's going on?
I mean, it's not Middle Earth without a bit of beef. So, all right, let's talk.
I mean, I guess I understand, like, okay, because the questions are, okay, so if the story, and I'm trying to play like devil's advocate here, right? If the story is meant to take place over the span of 3,500 years, her question, like, where are we, who are we fighting, is a valid question. Where are we in that 3,500 year span? What exactly is happening, and where are we going? That's a valid question. I feel like for one, the host is very obnoxious. He cuts off people.
He's very cringe too.
Very cringe, yeah. And so there's, I wonder like who these people are. Do we know who they are? Who are these super fans?
They didn't even friggin' like, yeah, they didn't even credit them.
Yeah, maybe they're listed there in the roundtable comment. Oh yeah, here we are. Here we got Kelsey Ellison. Let's see, because Mr. Isla is the guy who was hosting it. Who is Kelsey Ellison? Let's take a look here at the Google machine. We're gonna Google for Kelsey Ellison.
Good, you do that. I'm gonna get me some.
Okay, so she is a YouTuber. She is an erudite. Whatever the fuck that means, I don't know. So from Barnsley in Yorkshire, UK, has been performing since she was 14. She dances the both K-pop. Is this her? All right, hold on. Let's take a look at her Instagram here. This kind of looks like her.
Creep on her Instagram.
Sorry, she, her, they. Okay, just want to make sure I got that right.
I will say this. I know people were like, I saw a comment about teenagers stuff, but see, I don't mind when it's like young people being fans of something so old, because like, more teens these days, like young people these days, they're not really into like the stuff that predates them. You know, they're usually into modern stuff. So having people that young, and you know that they were much younger to probably even not be able to even see this movie, but they like went back and they saw it and they found love for it. Like, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with them giving their takes on their excitement for Lord of the Rings. So I thought that was like, I don't mind that they're teenagers, dude. I like it when young people, like, dude, when I was friggin' met the Green Power Ranger actor, there was this like little kid there excited to meet him. And like, I'm talking little, like he wasn't even born when the first Power Rangers came out. And he was super excited to meet him. And I was surprised. I'm like, how do you know who he is? Like, you come from the new generation. But I like that. It's cute.
So no, I get that too, but I'm like looking through her cosplay here. She's a cosplay artist. And it
Which
looks
one is
like she's the one that she is this one right here.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So I'm looking, so this is her Insta, and there's like I'm not seeing like a lot of Lord of the Rings stuff on here. You know, I saw one Star Wars thing. There's a fucking elf. There's
Wait, what's her name?
Kelsey Ellison. You know, I'm not really seeing a lot of that. So I don't quite know what exact, you know, she's doing. Okay, she does a bunch of stuff. That's cool, fine, cool beans, you know. But like, how is she a Lord of the Rings super fan, or was she brought in because she's an influencer? Because look at this here, she's got 152,000 followers on here, and I wonder what her. Here we go. Here's her YouTube channel, right? 216,000 followers. So she's an influencer. All right. And taking a look here at her playlist, right? She's got a lot of stuff, little short films that she does. Cool beans. But not really seeing. It looks like she's a sister's. What is this here? House Black. So is this like fucking Harry Potter thing? You know?
I mean, so it's like, I don't want to say she's not a fan, because like, even though she just might be more a fan of like the cosplay and the anime stuff and other stuff, and that's like what she showcases, but she could also be like a super fan of Lord of the Rings and just not be like big into.
But why would you? Why? But if you're gonna go and like do this Amazon fucking thing, and you're going to like be out there and people are gonna, you know, like gonna be critical of it. It's like, don't you think that you would have a person here who actually like is on the Lord of the Rings? Like, let's see what she says on her Twitter. Her account's been suspended.
What do you mean? Her official account's been suspended?
Yeah. Maybe something on her TikTok.
Oof.
I'm up. Verify to continue. There we go. Mount Fiji, motherfucker. All right. Yeah, fine. So, I need to check my TikTok. I haven't looked at it in a couple days. Again, I'm just trying to find literally anything that's Lord of the Rings, because this is where I get Hermione. This is why I get so frustrated with these fucking marketing companies. You know, like, that's why there's that joke, hire fans, because fans get it. And again, nothing against this person. She seems like a nice, lovely person, but she was brought in because she has got a couple 100,000 people on TikTok, a couple 100,000 people on YouTube, and a couple 100,000 people on Insta, TikTok, and YouTube. And so she's clearly an influencer on that one right there.
I mean, I'm looking through. I'm just kind of scrubbing through her YouTube. I'm gonna still assume that she is probably into Lord of the Rings, because I'm seeing her like she's into a lot of stuff like Harry Potter. I'm looking down, like she's into a lot of various things. So
Sure.
I'm gonna say it might be safe to say maybe she was really into Lord of the Rings. I would hope she is, but just because I don't see it, I'm not gonna assume she's not, because like I said, there's some YouTubers out there who specialize in certain content, and you just assume that like that's the only thing they like, but it's like, no, they like a lot of stuff. Like, you don't have to incorporate that into your social media life all the time.
So here's the other one, right? Oh, you guys can't see me. Shit, I'm sorry. I thought I was back on the other page there. I'm sorry. Hold on.
I'm laughing at you. You
Well,
boomered.
someone could have told me that. I didn't realize. I thought I was showing you guys.
I didn't know that you were trying to show. That's
Oh,
why
I thought I was. I'm sorry. I thought I was showing you guys. So that's my bad. But so here's the other woman that's here. This is the other woman that's here. So if you look at her thing here, right? She is a Harry Potter TikToker, and this is the Lord of the Rings superfan, right? Harry Potter TikToker.
I see what you're going at, but I'm okay. Go to the Instagram.
All right,
You have a lot of tabs up. Jeez.
I have a lot of tabs on this window. I have other windows open, but this is by the way, Kelly Ellison here, 244,000, right on that one. Let's just close that out. Okay, so she's got 240,000 on here as well on fucking on Insta, right? This Chanel Williams. So this Harry fucking Potter, and again, I like Harry Potter, but this Harry Potter TikToker, you know. And everything else. Look at here's her cosplay, still doing Harry Potter and stuff. There's again, this is a McGonagall bit, you know.
But she was one of the people when we were listening. Like she knows a little bit about, like, she sounds like she knows about Lord of the Rings. Oh yeah, more Harry Potter.
More Harry Potter.
But see, again, I'm gonna say that's very strange that both the people we looked at are like Harry Potter people. But like I said, maybe that's where they got their start. And they just got known for that, so they just stuck with it because that's part of their online persona.
Hogwarts Murder Mystery, 953,000 views 13 days ago. I mean, it's like, okay, I'll fine. Here, where's where can I search her channel? Okay, there. Okay,
I'm trying to give these kids the benefit of the doubt, y'all.
The Rings. All right, check her channel.
Oh, you can
for
do
Lord of
that?
the Rings. You can do that, yeah. Oh look,
shoot.
11 months ago, one video, her Q&A. Impressions and channel plans, you know, like what's the you guys can't hear that, so let me yeah, like it's all fucking, oh my god, this is worse than we thought, man. This is worse than we thought.
Wait, hold on, pause. You typed in Lord of the Rings and it still links you to a Harry Potter video?
Because this is what types up when I go Lord of the Rings on her page. You know, even let's see here. All right, so Chanel Williams on that one. Who's the other guy? Let's take a look at the other guy here. Maybe we can. All right, I don't care about that. All right. Okay, Joel Rochester. All right, let's take a look for Joel Rochester. How much you want to bet? Maybe this guy will be on that. All right, so here we go. Okay, so he's a reader. All right, he's a reader. All right, we're just gonna. He's got 81,000 subs. Can't complain. He's got more than me. All right, no matches for Lord of the Rings. Right, King of Stories, dark academian, magic sword, bisexual. Good for him. Let's take a look here at his Insta. Let's see. What's it say on his Insta? 32,000 followers. Right? Just scrolling through. You know, he's a reader. Good for him. Like, it's good to be educated, right? Read the Percy Jackson series. I heard that's really good. Interview with the Vampire. That's a good book.
Well, it's also good because, like, I would say out of all the YouTubers we watched, I'd feel like he definitely read the Lord of the Rings. Like, he reads a lot of books. So why wouldn't he not read the Lord of the Rings?
True. I mean, he definitely takes a lot of photos with him holding books.
You flying, he hasn't read them.
I'm not saying he hasn't read them. All right. I'm not saying he hasn't read them.
He's so adorable, by the way.
I'm just saying, let's see here. Let's take out his link tree. All right. He's got to have a fucking TikTok. All these people have a TikTok. There it is right there. What's his TikTok? 490 followers on there and no content. So here's what we've learned. 3 out of the 4 influencers on that panel have absolutely no public love of J.R.R. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings. This is an even worse disaster than one could imagine. And I'm being honest here. I might actually have to make this as a separate video. because it is literally that bad. That's bad. That is I feel really bad for these people.
I'm gonna still give the BOD of that, you know, maybe just maybe the YouTubers, especially the two females, because I'll give this guy a pass. He reads books, right? So it's safe to say that maybe he really is a fan of Lord of the Rings. He did read the books. I will give him that pass because he is a book reader, right?
This
But
seems
the
like a
other-
marketing disaster, dude.
right.
All right,
But I will
I'll
say
look up.
the
I'll look
other
up. Okay,
two-
Lord of the Rings, right? Because that's what. Who said that? Somebody said that in the chat, right? Search for Lord of the Rings.
I just think as YouTube influencers, they probably just hit their niche when they hit that algorithm on Harry Potter stuff, and that they just milked that.
They were literally you can tell that they were just trying to find people who like books.
But
Like
why
yo, have you read Lord of the Rings? Maybe.
But see, the one boy, I can see him being asked, "Hey, did you read Lord of the Rings? Did you like it? Are you a fan of it?" And him being like, "Yeah, I'd love to be part of it. I read the books." The other two, I will say, it's weird. Like, there's so many YouTubers out there who specialize on Lord of the Rings content. So why wouldn't you ask them? Like, no offense, I'm glad these girls got their spotlight. It clearly did not end well for that video, but you know, why there's so many Lord of the Ring YouTubers out there that literally specialize in their entire channels are built off that. Why weren't they approached? That's very odd.
I don't know. I am very shocked at all of this, and the fact that this is a video they put out.
This is really bizarre.
This is a video they put out where they're saying that Lord of the Rings, these guys are super fans. I'm not saying they don't like it. I'm just saying it's like they don't. We're looking through all of their social media stuff. These are influencers, and they have no public posts about Lord of the Rings. How do you? Okay, you know what this reminds me of? This was all done through a brand. This is all done through a collaboration, right? So whoever the prime marketing is, do you know what? How much you want to bet these fuckers all got Twitches too? You know, and maybe they got Twitches. I don't know, but they definitely reached out to people, and they're like, okay, look, this guy here. Does he have his YouTube, Instagram, Twitter? Okay, so he doesn't have a Twitch, but that I can see there.
Well, that we know of, yeah.
That we know, yeah.
Okay, so I literally just Googled Lord of the Rings YouTubers, and it says Lord of the Rings themed YouTube channels, my picks. And they have a ton. And a lot of them, the biggest YouTube channel that's like Lord of the Rings themed has 276,000 subscribers. Why didn't they ask that person? To Lord of Terrains has 187K subscribers, and that their channel literally says basically Lord of the Rings. And it's like they're the rings 100K. So it's like you have all of these YouTubers just Googling it and saying, "Hey, are there any Lord of the Rings YouTube channels out there?" And you could have asked them, and that would have at least made sense, because like now you have people like Jarbo, like, well, who are these influencers? And there's probably a lot more people like Jarbo. And when you look into them, like, yeah, I try to give them the benefit of the doubt, but this is damning.
This is pretty bad.
What do the comments look like on the video?
Oh
my God,
I mean,
trash.
they're pretty trash. They're pretty trash. Yeah,
RJ, they have nine, almost 10,000 dislikes.
Wait, how could you tell? I thought they disabled dislikes.
Nah, you can get an extension for it on Chrome.
Yeah,
okay.
I got
look
the
at that.
extension. Yeah, they are at 9,000 something dislikes, and they only have like almost less than 200 likes. It's bad.
Jesus.
Oh yeah, they got ratioed badly.
This is I don't want to quote the quartering, but it is an unmitigated disaster. And all this does is give all the haters even more ammo. This is bad, because I think the show is going to be fine. I'm looking forward to it. I want to see it. I know Bezos wants his Game of Thrones. I get all that. But this is like them going to people that are like, might be, hey, you check off a box. We're trying to showcase diversity, right? And again, I don't have a problem with that. But they bring these people on, and they choppily edit this whole thing together, and it makes it look like these people don't know what they're talking about. But then you go and you look into them and you're like, I don't think they know what they're talking about. And that just means the bad guys won. So good on you, Amazon. You fucked up $1 billion thing. Maybe they can salvage it. I don't really think they can.
Well, hold on though. Like, it's bad, yeah, but I don't think it's like so bad. It's like going to be like, you know, just like this is like $1 billion like down the toilet kind of thing, you know.
Well, as somebody who has dealt with a company trying to bring out something and having it so much hate around it, it does kind of hurt. And when you think about it, because you're basically, what Matt's saying is like, you're basically, people are already going into this bad mouthing it, hating it, and then you do something like this and it's just going to give the haters more reason to hate more. And I don't know, like, I have to agree with Matt on this one. It's not really the best look. Like, I tried to give the benefit of the doubt.
This is bad. Don't get me wrong, it's bad, but I'm saying what's going to matter is when the show comes out, what is the reaction from the normies? What is the reaction from that? The show itself still needs to come out first, where I could say it's like already like DOA, you know?
I mean, I still feel like, I think it's like hard, because when it comes to like TV shows, even though it might get a lot of hate at first, people are still going to watch it, especially the YouTubers.
Well, the normies don't care about this stuff. They don't pay attention.
Right, but that's the thing too. Like, even the haters are going to watch it because they want to see if they were right. They want to see if they were right, especially the influencers.
Well, no, Saggy. It doesn't matter if they're right or not. They're going to claim they're right anyway. That's the other thing you got to think too.
No, I understand that, but I'm saying you're missing my point, RJ. The haters are still going to watch this regardless, because they need to know, they need content for themselves. So it doesn't matter. They're still going to watch it. But I will say it does kind of like continue that whole like giving the haters more reason to talk bad about it, is basically what I'm saying. You know
Sorry, I had to step away for a second, but
what the hell? You weren't here the whole time?
No, I stepped away for like 2 seconds. I
called you a bitch.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
What? No.
Eminem ain't nothing but a bitch. But yeah, man, like, holy shit.
Like I said, I don't think. Listen, this is bad. I don't think it's a mitigated disaster just yet, though. Gotta wait and see. But yeah, it doesn't look great. This is not a good look. It's like the last thing they need right now from a marketing standpoint, given the reaction from YouTubers, you know. So.
Well, and it's gonna go. I think everywhere. It's like, you know, this is the thing. Like, you're right about the YouTubers, but I'm not worried about them. They've been poisoning the well for months, to be honest with you. What I hate is that this gives them the fucking ammo. That's my biggest thing. I'm like, God damn it, you guys had one fucking job. It's not hard to find people that are Lord of the Rings fans and to ask them what they think about like the Second Age and shit. But again, these are like younger people who probably grew up watching the movies and think that's a 1-to-1 representation. You know, like in the Lord of the Rings books, Legolas didn't fucking slide on a shield down a staircase and ice a whole bunch of orcs with a fucking bow.
Right.
You know,
still cool to see.
Oh, it's a great scene in the movie, you know, but it's like, that didn't fucking happen. It's an adaptation. And that's kind of the problem though. It's like,
and Aragorn didn't actually break his toe in the books when he kicked that helmet.
Yeah, it's because he's a bitch.
That was
because
still
Viggo Mortensen's a bitch.
Dude, the fact he really broke his foot and he just kept going. I was like, proud of you.
That was funny in my mind. Yeah, he just was like, well, I fucked myself. Yeah, you did, man.
Keep rolling. We're getting a real reaction.
Yeah. Or like when Sean Astin stepped on glass at the end of the walking in the water at the end of the first movie, and they had to like airlift him to the hospital because he like got himself all fucked up. So yeah, it's a lot of that craziness. But I think we kind of covered the Lord of the Rings stuff. I am going to download. I clipped out that segment. I'm going to edit it down a little bit. I'm going to re-upload it because listen, I'm not above trying to promote my own fucking program. So,
can you can you even download that because it's unlisted?
I can download this video. Yeah, I can download that. I can. What I mean is I also just clipped out the last 30 minutes, and I'm downloading that right now. You can do that on YouTube. You go into your live control panel, and you can actually clip out while you're live.
Oh, I'm learning new things about YouTube.
So you can do all that stuff. But no, this was definitely a good episode. Had a lot of fun tonight. Yeah, here I think Hans, I think Kira posted the link to that to this one in the chat, but I'll drop it in there as well if you guys want to give this whole thing a watch.
Catch it before it goes private, y'all.
Yeah, I got to download that too. I just feel like oh my God, I'm so what the hell with this, you know? Well, I know G&G made a video on this. I'm assuming that he did, but did he do the proper research into like who these people are, or just listen to what they said?
Probably probably the latter.
Probably the latter, because Jeremy doesn't put a lot of effort into anything. So they're probably going to make you sympathize with Sauron, probably. Well, there was a line in there that the guy in the far right there says, like, oh, we're going to learn a lot about Sauron. Maybe he fell in love. And I'm like, don't do that.
No, they're going to do that. I guarantee you they're going to make Sauron an empathetic.
How much you want to bet Sauron is going to be he's just going to be thirsting for Galadriel. That's going to be the main shit right there. Sauron's going to be like, I made the ring to give one of them to her, so she would be my bride forever, but she rebuffed me, and now I will enslave all of mankind. It's like, God. Okay, Middle-earth Hitler.
I'm so tired of stories that always start off with like a bad guy who becomes bad because he lost a loved one.
Well, I mean, people have done shit like that.
Yeah, but they always do it.
Well, the Tolkien look. Here's the thing with this, though. By the way, Rational. I think anyone who dedicates their life to being a Tolkien scholar has a bit of a fucking screw loose. By the way, I do. I'm sorry. Like, I like Tolkien and his works. I would never dedicate my entire life to being able to speak like the 7 languages he created, fucking directly and shit. I just kind of feel like that's a bit of a thing. But also, look. Tolkien scholars, they weren't even there for Tolkien scholars hated the Lord of the Rings as well, right? Peter Jackson's movies, because they changed things and they had to adapt things. That's the other side of this. This is an adaptation. So with the adaptation, obviously things are going to change.
Yeah.
So there's that, but I don't know. But that being said, I do, appreciate everyone coming by. Thank you all for I don't know if you noticed, RJ, I made it a bit of a cleaner template.
Yeah, no, it looks nice. Yeah, I apologize for coming in so late, but no, I was listening in. Like, this is really interesting. So,
oh yeah, no, there's a lot of stuff going on with this. I want this show to be good. I just want to say that at the end of it, I want this show to be good because I want people to fucking enjoy it. I want Lord of the Rings.
I want. Oh, we're talking about. I thought you meant WAD. I want.
Oh, well, no, obviously, I want so many people to watch the show that I don't have to do delivery driving anymore. That's the goal. I think that's a fair goal, because I have to go to the dealership in the morning to get an oil change, to figure out why my check engine light came on, and then probably to spend $500 on new tires and a brake job. So that's fun. Dude, I'm telling you, every time I get like a leg up financially, here comes my car with just the fuck you. It's like, fuck, but all right, it's fine. Let's see here. Command unit. Let's see here. Okay. You came at the very end, buddy. Like literally the very end, but for you, I'll do it. Warhammer 40K Imperium at War. It's a minute 4 seconds. Did you see Henry Cavill?
Excuse me, sorry, I have allergies.
Did you guys happen to see Henry Cavill go to the Games Workshop?
Was he naked?
No, I didn't actually know.
Yeah, he went yesterday. He went to he went there and checked out all the Warhammer stuff.
Is he still with his girlfriend?
I'm pretty sure he's still with his girlfriend.
Well, I don't care then.
You're like, fuck that bitch.
Okay, Anna, Jesus, like,
yeah.
Dude, who would want?
That's Star Wars girl.
She loves
Oh, what
Henry
she
Cavill.
she simps for Cavill.
Oh, she
big
simped for
time,
him
dude.
as bad as I do. Yeah, we both simp for him, dude.
Oh.
Like, why would you not want an Adonis?
Don't get me wrong,
man
I'm
who's a nerd?
straight and I'm comfortable in my sexuality, but if he was like, "Let me peg you," I'd be like, "Let me think about it."
Bro, he shows up at my door dressed as friggin' Gerald.
I'd be like, "Wear the black suit. Let's make this real."
Yeah.
I'm your Lois Lane. I'm your Lois Lane. Just put me in a red wig and ravage me, daddy. Or I cosplay as Zack Snyder and I peg him.
All right, on that note, play the video.
All right. Jesus.
Yep. Jesus Christ.
Oh, you guys missed it earlier. I was talking about the anatomy of the cars. You know, from the movie Cars and how they procreate.
Well, they put it in
Why
the
would you ever want to talk about that?
The Despoiler's poisonous long war has torn the galaxy in half.
Sorry.
The laughter of bloodthirsty gods echoes across the void. The shadow of chaos has fallen across the stars. If we do not fight back, that shadow will become a burial shroud. And yet, there is hope. Zeal and will, blade and bolter, faith and fury. We do not fear the coming of chaos. It is the traitors that should fear us. Possession of this galaxy is mankind's birthright. The stars are ours for the taking.
All right.
Cool.
Very cool. That didn't really tell me much, but no, it's, hey, I'm all right. I'm all right. Oh, here's something that popped up kind of last minute. Apparently, Sasha Calle is currently in London filming something, and the Batgirl production is supposedly sending over to London. So maybe find out more from that. But all right, guys, I appreciate. Let's see. Only on HWAD would I turn on the stream and Jar will be talking about doing dirty Cavill talk. Yeah, this is what happens when you skip the stream. So there you go. So anyway, all right, everybody, thank you so much for coming on in. We'll be back on tomorrow night for the. I think I have to take my daughter to school for the first time in like 2 months on Wednesday. So I'm very happy about that. So I might not be live tomorrow night just because I'm actually going to want to get a good night's sleep. But if I'm not going to go live, I am going to go see Uncharted. So if I'm live, I didn't see Uncharted. If I'm not live, then I'm watching Uncharted. So there's
wait, you just said you might not be live because you have to get up in the morning. So you probably won't be live streaming either way.
If I do live stream, it will be early and I'll end early. Like I'll only go for like an hour and I'll hard cut it at an hour, you know?
Okay, gotcha.
Like I might go that, yeah.
Yes, Saggy, Jesus.
Yes, God damn it.
Never does an hour.
I know. I was like, I'll go live for it because I was just gonna like do this and then finish it out, and then like Saggy came in like last minute and it just extended it by an hour. So blame her.
You're welcome, audience. You're welcome.
Be sure to tip your waiter. I'll be here tomorrow.
Flip a coin to your witcher. Toss a coin. Wow. Toss a coin to your witcher. Wow.
Toss a coin to your witcher in the valley of plenty. In the valley of plenty. Whoa.